Hiyo, it's Dio, and before we begin, I am going to put up the disclaimer again that this is an unscripted, ramble sort of thing. So if you would rather, feel free to set the video to some music and mute me. Anyway, let's get started. It's been a really long time, hasn't it? I'm really sorry for that. Before I started this, I went back because I was curious when I put up that, coming eventually video. Good thing I said the word eventually and not soon, because, I did not anticipate that it would be this long. I kind of thought I put up that video back in March, which is still kind of a long time, but I go back and find out that it was in January. Oh, cripes, I really didn't mean for it to be half a year later before I finally got around to getting this picture done. That's ridiculous. But in my defense, at the time when I put up that video, I was still living at home, in my family home. And when you're in a family unit, sometimes it's really hard to find time to do this because, someone's either being really noisy in the background or your name keeps getting called for something. And I didn't mind. It was just, it makes it hard to do things like record for, especially long periods of time. I might, every time I think of starting it, something would go up and I was always doing something with somebody. So I was so I had to keep putting it off. But then in February, my sister and I began to, look into moving out. And in April, we actually did. So we moved out. And now we have our own place. And I was excited about that because I kind of figured, when I have my own space, I will have, more time and, ability to work on stuff like this. I won't be interrupted. It won't be so noisy. And that actually did happen. Now that I have my own place, I get interrupted very little now, and I actually have, a lot of time that I can do it. But there are some other problems. At the moment, I'm kind of going through some sort of weird, energy issue, and it's kind of affecting things like motivation and stuff. And I've had that happen to me before, off and on in my life, and there's been, medical reasons for that. So this one isn't going away on its own, unfortunately. I'm still kind of struggling with it, but I am going to get it looked at in hopes that, maybe I can figure out what's going on, and if I can get it fixed, I can be more active again, because I do miss it. I miss being, social and active and, having all this creative drive and energy that I'm just not having right now. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a challenge, but even though I still feel that, I have been making myself slowly but surely chip away at this picture. When someone says, I'm forcing myself to do this, and for this case, it's not in a bad way. I really do want to see this picture done because, this picture is actually a remake of the original picture that I did back in 2011. Wow. And then I remade it again in 2013. And it's 2019 now, so 6 years later, here it is again. But the one that I did in 2013 is still featured on my Nintendo DeviantArt page, and I'm getting really sick of looking at it. Because even though I was proud of it at the time, after a while you want to see, your new stuff up and kind of give people a better idea of what you can do now. So, yeah, I really do want to see this done. It's very important to me that I do. And, as slow as I am working on it, this picture means a lot. So don't worry, it will be done. I just can't totally guarantee, because I'm not even done with this freaking picture, ridiculous as that sounds. I have only part 1 and part 2 done, which is the line arting and the base coloring, which is going to be split up into 3 videos. So this first video is the line art segment, and part 2, which I do have done, will be the base coloring. I still have to freaking shade and get the effects done, but that's it. I'm actually really close, and I'm hoping that it won't take that long to do, because shading and effects are actually my favorite part of the picture, while line arting is it's my least favorite, and that's sort of part of the hold up too. Is I find line arting really boring. It's an important step, but it doesn't change the fact that it's boring. And there were times actually that I would open the canvas. I really did have the intention of working on it, but then I would just look at it and just any little energy I did have would just fly right out the window. Because I'm like, oh gosh, I have to line art all this. I have to get all the little details, and you know. And then just some days I couldn't do it. Otherwise, I would have had it done sooner if I just maybe pushed myself a little more or something. But yeah, I did finally get over, you know, whatever it was long enough to at least get the most boring part out of the way, so at least I have the fun part left, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product. Anyone who makes remakes probably, you know, they do the same thing I would, where they want to improve upon or fix what they didn't like about their previous version. And I still think that it holds up now, my 2013 one, but one major gripe I have about it is I don't like how spaced out everybody looks. Like there's so much open space. So I kind of thought maybe a more crowded, more compact picture would look more visually interesting. And I like the result that I have right now, and I'm hoping everyone else likes it too. So yeah, that's something I'm excited to see finished, because it's one of my bigger projects. In this video, when I did the line art and the base coloring, I found that I had over 13 hours worth of footage. So that's why I have to break it up into 3 parts, because I don't fully understand the YouTube time limit. I thought it was 15 minutes or something like that. So I'm splitting it up because I didn't want to have it sped up so fast that people can't really tell what's going on, and it's just a Sonic the Hedgehog blur of, you know, stuff being drawn and colored. I wanted it slow enough to at least be able to see what's going on, but fast enough to stay within the limit. That's why it's being split up as much as it is, because I know in other parts I only had 2 parts. But yeah, this is a bigger picture. Like, it's a way bigger picture. And then on some days I wonder if I bit off more than I could chew. But, you know, if I've done it before, I can do it again, I know. And probably in the future I will find some way to improve upon it again. That's the fun thing about remakes. You can kind of go back and do them whenever you want. So yeah, I really care about this, as even though I don't seem super active about it. But yeah, anyway, so I find that when I run out of stuff to talk about, I start to get kind of awkward like I am now, and I either fill it with like just music for the rest of the way, or maybe blab about stuff that doesn't make sense, but I don't really want to do that. So for this time, I thought I would go back and maybe do a tag. I used to get tagged a lot. I don't get tagged much now, but I don't see tags being done as often now in general. But I have some old tags saved that I used to do, so I was thinking of pulling one up and just kind of answering some questionnaires. It's kind of like a get to know me a little better while I work on this sort of thing. You know, I thought it would be kind of fun. So yeah, hang on, let me pull that up real quick, and I'll get through as much as I can, because there's still, let's see, like over 5 minutes left of this video, and I'm already kind of out of stuff to talk about as far as the art goes. So let me get that questionnaire up. Okay. So there's several parts to this tag. I probably won't be able to finish all of it before the video ends, but I'll see what I can get through. So the first one, this first segment is just kind of like your background, I guess. And the first question is, real name? No, sorry, I'm afraid I can't do that. But everybody online calls me Dio, so Dio to you. Age? No, another one I can't do. Sorry. Race? Caucasian, baby. I'm whiter than Wonder Bread. Nationality? I am a pretty mixed European. My last name is German, though. Religion? I am an LDS Mormon. Status? It just says status, but I'm assuming they mean relationship status, and if that is the case, single but not ready to mingle. Birthday, July 15th. 5 days from now, yeah, as of this recording, it's July 10th. So 5 days from now. Zodiac, Cancer. And honestly, I'm a Cancer in like every way. Hair color. My natural hair color is like a light brown. I wouldn't call it red, but there's a little bit of like a hint of that in the light. But right now, I dyed it pure black back in October. So even though most of it washed out, there's still a little bit of the original like dye color. So on the top, it looks like there's a gradient of like my natural color, and it kind of slowly turns black at the bottom. It's actually kind of neat. Too bad I don't like to wear my hair down very much because it kind of does look really neat when it's down. Eye color, it's like a blue and a green. Probably more green, but sometimes in certain colors I wear, the blue comes out a little more, and vice versa for green. Do I have any tattoos? No, I do not. Do I have any piercings? Yep, I have one in each earlobe. Do I wear glasses? Yeah, I do. I'm actually nearsighted. Except I don't wear them like all day. I only wear them at night to drive because the lights blur together and I can't tell the source. And that makes driving at night really scary for me if I don't have them on. I probably actually should be wearing them in the day too. But because I do walk around like squinting. It's hard to see from far away, but I don't want my eyes to get lazy, and I do get around just fine without them, so that's why I only wear them when I absolutely have to. Alright, next segment is Do You? Do I write? Sure do. I've got my own characters and stories I'm working on. Do I roleplay? Not much now. I used to, but even when I did, it was only with close friends. And it was only with original characters. I never really liked the idea of like role-playing canon characters. They're not my characters to mess with. Do I sing? Oh, I karaoke in the car. Does that count? Do I draw? I don't know. Do I? Yeah, I do. Do I edit? Like other people's stuff? No. I mean, I do edit my own stories and things, but I don't really like edit Wikipedia or nothing. Do I exercise? Yes, I do. I try to hit the gym anywhere between 3 and 4 times a week, in the pool once or twice. Probably in the winter that won't be happening, but in the summer I try to make it once or twice a week. Do I play sports? No. I suck. I was always picked last in PE, like always. Do I dance? I got put in ballet twice and tap once. It never stuck, but you know, I liked the idea. Do I read? Oh yeah, I used to be a bookworm. Like when I was a kid, there was no Nintendo Switch, like so books were kind of it. I used to spend my summers, you know, renting them from the library, and that's what I love to do. I don't read much now, I just don't have time, but I like it. Do I work? Yeah, I got a day job. Do I blog? No. Not really. Do I drink? I don't know if they mean in general or if they mean like booze. I do not drink alcohol, but I do consume liquids every day, yeah. Do I cook? Yeah. Several times a week. Do I bake? Yes, I love baking actually. I don't do it often, especially now that I'm in a smaller place, but I like it when I can. Do I play an instrument? In 4th grade, I did like this steel drum thing for like a year, but that didn't last after that, and I never really did any other sort of instruments again. Anyway, there is more to this tag, but this video segment is about to end. I will pick it up in part 2 and finish the rest of it. But for now, I want to thank everyone who's been sticking by and watching, and those who listened, extra thank you. And I will do my best to get these other parts up and running as soon as I can. And until then, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much, and you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.